My name is Miss Strawn, and I am the principal here at Dr. Kiran C. Patel High School. I am so excited that you are interested in learning a little bit about our school, and I come to you today from our PBL lab at our school. And the reason why we are doing a virtual showcase is because due to COVID-19, we're unable to do the traditional showcase where we have families coming to our school physically. So we're compensating by providing a virtual showcase. So today I hope to tell you a little bit about why our school is the best choice for your child. I like to start with telling you about the history of our school because really our school is unique in so many ways, but just from the very beginning, it began in a unique way. There were two co-founders, and it was a husband and wife, and they were searching for an option for their high school child. And they really were honestly disappointed. They were looking for something that was innovative. They wanted something that was going to be technology-based and something that was just different overall. And this began the vision behind the school. And, along with Ash and Kavita, there was Dr. Patel himself, and they all shared this common goal of offering the community something that wasn't already there, a unique learning experience where they learn by doing, they learn through technology, and overall, in general, he gave a very generous donation to help build the school. And the reason why I like to start with this story is because I call this school a labor of love. People came together not because they wanted anything other than to give back to the community. And because of that, I have a lot of pride for the school, and I have a lot of passion about the school because I really do want to give back the best opportunity to all of the learners here at the school. So kind of a little bit about myself. I am a product of Hillsborough County Schools. I actually graduated from Hillsborough County Public Schools. I went to USF and got an education degree. And then I started teaching at Tampa Bay Tech. That was my first teaching experience. And then I went to Robinson High School. So I'm very familiar with, the different schools in Hillsborough County. And then as I was teaching, I got my master's in educational leadership. And ultimately, I went to Bell Creek Academy and helped build that school. It was a new school when I started, similar to starting at Patel. And while I was there, I just became even more passionate about school administration and being able to give back at a larger, in a larger sense than just my classroom. And also while I was there, I created the Cambridge program. We were the only school in Hillsborough County at the time that offered the program, and I created that program from scratch, and that is also something that Patel High School has. And when I learned about Patel High School being built and how it was going to be a PBL school that was going to be Cambridge, I just knew that it was everything I was passionate about as an educator, and I had to be part of this opportunity. So also a little bit about the need to know. So we are a lottery-based enrollment application process, which means that you have to go to our website, and it is a randomized lottery. So if you haven't already, go ahead and apply because we started taking applications in August, and every school year we have more applicants than spots. So go ahead and apply as soon as possible. We also are a one-to-one digital device school. We have Chromebooks available to every learner in our school. So we are a Google Classroom school, and our teachers utilize the G Suite for Education in all of their classes. We also have a rotating block schedule. Right now we have currently 85-minute periods, and our current school hours are from 7:45 to 2:12, but that could possibly change. And we currently do not have a transportation service or an aftercare service. Now, one of the biggest selling points of our school, and really what makes us unique, is we are a project-based learning school. And I find that a lot of people think that they know what project-based learning is, but they really just think that they know what projects are. So I'm going to tell you about what PBL is. So our school has partnered with Magnify Learning, who provides us with extensive training. They are experts in project-based learning, and Our goal here is to be a center where schools from all over the nation come and learn about project-based learning. And that is why we've partnered with Magnify, so ultimately we can be a PBL certified school. So project-based learning is a practice that takes learning just beyond the teacher giving the information. It's a learning by doing approach. And this again goes back to the whole vision, offering a unique experience. Learners are active participants in their learning, and they're not just sitting and listening to teachers talk. In the PBL classroom, you often find learners solving problems, participating in research and case studies, and designing projects and answering things based on inquiry. They are encouraged to investigate real-world issues, and that's the biggest difference between PBL and projects. So a project is something that most classrooms are doing already. You can complete it at home without the guidance of a teacher. They're all the same for all the learners. So the end product is going to look the same. It might look a little different, but the end product itself is, the requirements are the same. It occurs at the end of a unit. So normally what you'll see in a traditional classroom is you'll see that the teacher will teach all the content, and then at the end, one of the assessments is the project. Whereas project-based learning, it requires the learners to learn through the project. And I'm going to give you some examples of things that we've done here. And one of the biggest parts about PBL is that it is relevant to the real world. So our teachers start their units with a problem. And what I mean by that is it's a problem that occurs in society, something that can be fixed, something that has multiple answers to fixing it. It's something that the kids are interested in fixing. So let's look at some examples. I'll give you a few, and you're going to have access to this presentation too, so you can feel free to dive deep in these. But for example, the art classrooms, they wanted to raise awareness for the Humane Society. And the problem that they were dealing with is that there are a lot more pets than there are adoptions. So they thought to themselves, how can we create awareness so that more pet adoptions occur? So what they did is they were creating portraits of adoptable pets, and they were showcasing them as promotional materials on social media pages and even here at school. So it was raising awareness of how to adopt the animals that are available. Here's an example for math. PHS learners acted as mathematicians that use the number of patients at a hospital and the number of food that was ordered to predict how much food a local hospital needed to order each month. So the problem was Florida Baycare was losing money on some of the orders that they put in for food. And they had to dive deep into the data to figure out, well, what are we doing wrong? And they used our learners as partners to figure out a solution to this issue. Another example is for English is the dystopian literature. So while learning about dystopian literature, the learners partnered with the Patel Conservatory, which is a theater program. And what they did is they created a dystopian society to raise awareness of certain problems in society. For example, global warming. So they would bring awareness to global warming and what role we can fix by creating a dystopian play. And the Patel Conservatory had a local director come and give them feedback on their play. So you can kind of see how the kids are learning the same content because we teach the same standards that the Florida state requires, but the way that they are learning it is different. And it makes it more engaging, it makes it more exciting, it makes it more applicable to their life. It makes them want to learn more because they're involved in their learning process. So let's just take a look at some things. 21st century education. So what are employers looking for? So if you were to talk to anyone, a CEO from Google or any of the major CEOs around the nation, these are the aspects that they're looking for. They're looking for critical thinking skills. They're looking for collaboration. leadership skills, public speaking, problem solving, and being adaptable. Now, these things seem like they would be easier to find than they really are, especially because in today's age, so many learners are so focused on on technology, they aren't really collaborating in ways that they should be. So by having a classroom that's centered around project-based learning, they have to collaborate. They have to think critically about solving different problems, because every lesson is involving a problem. They have to take leadership in different aspects of the project, and they definitely will be doing public speaking. I have some pictures here where you can see that we have learners who are participating on their, in groups, and they're also doing some public speaking, because with project-based learning, it's impossible to do a project without involving these things. Here's just some examples. These kids are actually doing they're practicing their dystopian play. These kids were actually, they were in the PBL lab where I am actually, and they were doing presentations to local business leaders about an idea they had in entrepreneurship. One of the big parts about project-based learning is community partnership. So the way to really make things real world is by having real world jobs involved in the problem solving. So oftentimes you're going to find that our learners are presenting their ideas and the solution to their problem with a community partner. And that way, again, it tells the kids that this is stuff that happens in the real world. This is stuff that you will be using when you get out of high school. Oftentimes as an educator, you hear, oh, I don't know this stuff. I don't need to know this stuff when I get older. But that's not true. There are ways that you will be using these things and you just don't realize it. And that's the great thing about PBL is they get to see it firsthand in high school, how all of these things are going to apply after school. So here's just some pictures of community partners. We also have a partnership with the Patel Conservatory. They came in and they provided music lessons for both band and orchestra and chorus and theater. Power Hour. So this is another thing that makes us unique. So Power Hour is a positive school-wide initiative to encourage and support learners for their achievement. It's essentially an hour that's dedicated, usually daily, that they are given an extended homeroom time period where they will be given study hall, scheduled tutoring sessions, and club meetings. So the great thing about Power Hour is it's time built in the school day where it's things that normally are done at other schools outside of the school day. So we really focus on making sure that learners are well-rounded. We want them to be responsible learners. We want them to take initiative. We want to give them the tools that they need to be successful in whatever their goals are. Most of our learners have goals of going into college, and that is great, and some of them want to go into other aspects. And with Power Hour, it allows learners to focus on what they need, whether that's tutoring, sometimes it's clubs, and things. And I'm going to go over some clubs that we have. But Power Hour is something that is a really great opportunity for students to do during the school day. We have a lot of athletics. I'm going to encourage you to go to our athletics page on our website. So you can contact maybe the coach or the athletic director to learn more. But right now, we are only in our second year. So next school year, we'll only have freshmen, sophomores, and juniors. And then the sports that we currently have is cheerleading, girls and boys basketball, girls and boys cross country, and girls volleyball. And that's not to say that we won't be adding additional sports, because we 100% will. But within the 2 first school years that we've started, those are the sports that we have so far. So we're very excited about those. As a new school, we do have an amazing gym here, so it does help us have these sports on campus. Clubs. So again, I'm going to encourage you to go to our link here, and you're going to see a club brochure that goes over all of the clubs that we have in the school, and it tells you a little bit about all of the different academic clubs versus interest clubs, because we really do believe in having a well-rounded learner. So we want to give that full experience, and we encourage learners to join an academic club and an interest club because it will look good on your college resume. Another thing to keep in mind, because we are still a growing school, if you don't see a club or a sport on the things that are listed, keep in mind that you have the opportunity to build those things. You have the opportunity to be part of the development of things. And that's the really exciting part about being at a new school, is you get to have a voice in what is offered at the school. Every year we do surveys with our kids, and we use those surveys to know what classes to add, what clubs to add, what sports to add. We use the student voice in all of the decisions that we make. So that's the part that's really fun about being at a new school, because it's developing and you get to be part of that development. You get to be a leader in that development. So college and career counseling is, of course, one of our focuses. We are a highly academic school. We want to give learners an opportunity. See, our goal here is to give like a private school education, something that you would be given at Berkeley Prep, but in a free charter school, tuition-free setting, right? So one of the things that we do is we provide college and career counseling for all of our learners. One of the main goals is to prepare them for whatever awaits them beyond the world of high school. One thing that we've done that is unique to our school is that we have a program called Naviance. That is a college and career planning tool. All of our learners start this in 9th grade, and throughout their 4 years, they do various things. They do college and career exploration. They do interest surveys, but it also helps them with college planning and doing things like building their resume. And it's a great way to kind of create a little online portfolio for you to collect information. It keeps track of your test scores and all of these things, so that when you do go and apply for college, you have it in one place. So that's one thing that we really are excited about. We started that last school year, our first year, and all of our kids throughout their 4 years will continue using Naviance to help with their planning of going to college and career. Some of the other things that we do is academic and counseling, as far as like if there is any need of intervention, we provide those. Cambridge tracking and monitoring, we're going to go over Cambridge in a minute. Graduation tracking, SAT and ACT prep, attendance monitoring, progress monitoring in general, and guidance for AP, Bright Futures, and dual enrollment. So we actually have right now a director of academic success, and this is all she does, is focus on college and career counseling. So one thing to keep in mind is we are a public school, so that means that we do require the 24 credit standard diploma that's required by the Florida Department of Education. However, we go a little bit above and beyond. We require students to take 4 years of all subject areas, and what I mean by that is 4 years of math, 4 years of science, 4 years of English, and 4 years of social studies. And that's because we want to require more than just the minimum, because that's what colleges are looking for. In addition to another example that we require is a foreign language. It's not a graduation requirement, but it is a requirement to enter college. We also do not require, but we highly encourage all learners to get 100 community service hours, because that is what will be expected for both the Cambridge diploma, but also just Bright Futures in general. So those are some of the things that we do to make sure that our kids are going to be competitive when they're applying for colleges. We want them to, stand out as far as their resume goes. So that's something that we require here. One thing to keep in mind when colleges are looking for students, they're going to look at all the classes that we offer at school, and they're going to compare your child's academic resume to that. Meaning they're going to look to see, did your child take advantage of all the opportunities given to them? Did they take the most challenging courses that they could? Did they do well in those courses? That is what colleges look for. They're not comparing students across the board, because they know that every school is different. They look at the kids at our school, and then they compare those kids to kids at schools that are similar to ours. And we are a much smaller school than is in Hillsborough County. So we are going to be compared to other charter schools that are small, other private school students that are small that offer similar programs. One of the programs that makes us unique again, so we have project-based learning, which is our curriculum focused, unique thing. And then we have Cambridge, which is a college level curriculum that's designed by the University of Cambridge in England. And it's similar to IB in the fact that it is college level, very advanced, rigorous courses. It gives you the exact same bonus points on your GPA as well, so they're very comparable. But of course, the curriculum is different because it's created by the University of Cambridge. So what I personally like, and keep in mind that I created the Cambridge program at my previous school. What I personally like about Cambridge is the fact that it allows students choice, and it goes very well with project-based learning. The way that the kids get the Cambridge diploma is by taking a series of courses and ultimately taking the courses, passing the exam, and receiving 7 points towards their Cambridge diploma. So let me explain that a little bit. I have a little graph here for you to look at. So in general, students who are in the Cambridge program are in a college level course. They're learning a curriculum that's designed by the University of Cambridge but taught here on campus. And then at the end of the school year, they will sit for an exam that's created by the University of Cambridge. That exam will be sent to the University of Cambridge and graded by the University of Cambridge. Once we get those scores back, if the students receive a passing score, they receive not only college credit to any university, but they also receive 1 point towards their ACE Cambridge diploma. So the goal of the ACE Cambridge diploma is to receive a 100% scholarship through Bright Futures to any public university in the state of Florida. So this is something that the state of Florida offers that's very unique, but by meeting the requirements for the diploma, students are automatically given the 100% scholarship to a public university. Now, that's pretty amazing because that means that they do not have to meet the SAT or ACT requirements. They do, however, have to have the 100% or the 100 community service hours that I mentioned. Now, how do kids get the diploma? This is what I like about it, and this is why I think it's a great opportunity for students. So they have to take at least 1 course in each of the groupings. So there's group 1 here, that's math and science. Group 2 is languages. Group 3 is arts and humanities. And group 4 is interdisciplinary. They have to do at least 1 from each category, okay? So what I like about that is the fact math and science is combined. So maybe I'm not strong in math, maybe I'm strong in science. So I'm gonna just take science and get that group 1, pass that exam, and then I personally was a history teacher. So I personally wanna spend most of my time in the arts or the humanities. So I will take 1 credit here, but then I wanna continue taking additional courses in this class. So it gives kids choice, it gives them flexibility of how they meet the requirements for the diploma. They only need 7 credits, so that's 7 classes. Kids will take 7 classes each school year, right? They take 7 classes times 4 years. That's 28 total classes throughout their whole high school career. And to get the Cambridge diploma, they only have to take 7 classes and pass 7 exams. So another reason why this is a great opportunity is because it's very doable, you know? It is a 3-year program, so learners who start freshman year, which is what I recommend, will complete the program within 3 years. And we recommend usually 2 to 3 classes each school year because they are college level courses. So they'll take 2 to 3 college classes through the Cambridge program, and then they'll also mix it with their high school level courses. So it's not something that's really overbearing. One of the things I've heard from my students when I taught at Robinson IB was that they felt really overwhelmed and stressed by the amount of workload. So because all of their classes were IB courses. So this gives students the opportunity to be that multifaceted student. They can still do sports, they can still be involved in clubs, and they can still be that well-rounded student and be in a highly academic program. Now, don't get me wrong, these classes are not easier at all. They are college level, and there's a reason why that they get college credit for passing the exam, because they are challenging. But my learners are, able to do this over a series of classes throughout their 3 years in the program. So it's something that's very doable. And I personally have seen how this program has given kids the opportunity to receive a full scholarship that probably wouldn't have otherwise, because the SAT and ACT requirements for Bright Futures now is really high. And this is a great opportunity to give students that scholarship without meeting that SAT or ACT requirement. So every year we have an application window for Cambridge. It's usually around the April to May timeframe, because we need all of our students who are applying for the next school year to be involved. And we look at your grades, and things to just consider is, mostly A and B students, weighted GPA of 3.25. We look at test scores, FSAs, 4 or 5. Learners who don't have FSA scores, look at whatever testing your school did, such as MAP, and look to be, in the 75th percentile or higher. That would be ideal. We also look at attendance records and discipline, and there's a writing assessment that kids actually sit for. So it is a multifaceted application process, and currently this is our first school year with it, because we're only in year 2. And we have about 150 students in the program this year. So that's a pretty amazing start to the program. And we're really excited to grow it throughout the school years. So I talked about this a little bit already, but one of the questions I get, because Hillsborough County has a lot of IB schools, and that's something that's most known in this community. But Cambridge is a great opportunity. It is very comparable to IB as far as the rigor. Colleges are going to evaluate those scores the same way. They're not going to see that IB is better or ACE is better, because they're equally rigorous. It's just the way that they get that end product is different. We are always looking for community partners. So if you want to be a community partner and contribute to one of our lessons, be part of one of our projects in our classes, we would love to have you. The best way to get these kids to see the real life application is to have real live people who are involved in these projects. So if you're interested, please click on this link right here to share your information so that we can add you to our database of people interested. And then I just want to leave you with how to apply if you haven't already. Go to our website. Please follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram so you can stay in the know. We post pictures of lots of things that's going on, and it would be a great way for you to get to know a little bit about the school as well. I am so glad that you guys are interested in potentially joining us. I will tell you right now that our goal is to be the best school, not only in the district, but in the state of Florida. And I know that with the staff here that I have on campus, we're gonna do it. So I look forward to seeing you all. And I really want you guys to know that this is a really great opportunity. And I really think it's the best choice for all learners, because it offers multiple different things for all different types of learning styles and interests. So if you have any questions, feel free to go to our website and email us. We will gladly give you a call, whatever works. We're also going to be scheduling tours with small groups of families. So that link will also be available on our website. So please go and sign up for a tour. It is going to be small groups so that we can ensure that we're doing social distancing. But I hope that I told you why Patel High School is so amazing, and I hope to meet you all soon. Bye guys, thank you.
Top 10 reasons why you should choose PHS. Variety of rigorous courses, including ACE, AP, dual enrollment, and honors classes. Opportunity to earn a 100% college scholarship with Bright Futures through the ACE Cambridge program. enhance critical thinking skills through project-based learning,
collaborating with peers to solve real-world problems,
become empowered to take ownership of your own academic success,
immersion with leadership opportunities in and out of the classroom,
master the organization of time, skills, and expectations,
inclusive atmosphere where all learners are encouraged to take risks,
reflect on your ability to become the best version of yourself.
PHS, building leaders one learner at a time.